Alright, so there's another VOD from Seananiganz. I don't remember what rank this one's in. I think this was mid-plat? On Numbani. Yeah, pretty much mid-plat. He is apparently not running Roadhog this time. From what I understand, he's running something else. Oh, are we getting some Ana gameplay today?
I'm happy to go Ana if you want to go someone else.
I missed the team comp. Reinhardt, Road. Besides maybe Mercy. That's kind of like the wild card. The wild card pick, but it's solid group. No complaints from me.
How much does Ana's grenade boost healing per second die? Is it like 50%? Always on golden hammer.
I like that you're setting up here. It's good choice.
You know, there's a Reinhardt shield up here, being nice and juicy for the whole team.
That McCree should be up on uppers with you guys. Maybe just behind you. You're a bit too far forward. It's kind of like in those spy movies where whenever like the police catch up with their guns, they try to hit, like they come like within like 2 feet of the person they're trying to shoot. Like just, you have a sniper rifle. Stand back. You should not. This is a useless move. Because what are you going to do there? You are just risking getting double headshot from McCree. You're at 60% now. You only have 60 health. You didn't need to do that. You could have just waited for them to go into the door, and then Reinhardt could have just charged, get a free charge off. Because look, right now, you need to be healing the Roadhog that's down there. You need to build your ult. You shouldn't be this aggressive. Just hang out. Like, you should be at least 90% at this point. Good sleep dart. In this situation, you should have just stayed up. Oops. I'm trying to learn how to use this drawing software. You should have just stayed on upper, because there was no reason for you to come down. So let's go back real quick. So I agree, you needed to start looking at your teammates. This reaction was really slow. Like, at this point, you should have probably been in that direction of the platform where it kind of like loops around. So that way you could look down the stairs and look down there. Because right now, you're not looking at anyone. And you need to get your ult. You're only at like 77%. You should have it by now. You could have had your ult by now. Your Reinhardt's out of position, but it's okay. Like, where that McCree was? Let's see. How can I zoom back? Where that McCree, this McCree right here is, you should be standing there when the battle underneath in tunnel is going on. You shouldn't be here. Or at least you should have rotated to that spot much sooner. Let's move forward. So, because because you were in here, like, congrats, you got a sleep dart. You could have done that up there. And you wouldn't be risking yourself for this Hanzo to snipe you off. Like, you should have seen that Hanzo. At least look at him. Wasted ult. She should.
Your ult is actually carefully deployed for them, by the way. Oh wait, not your ult. Oh, sorry, you're not the main. Wow. Guys, don't forget the vision. Yeah, what? Was that just a foolish
Okay.
scenario then?
So let's see how you deal with this next fight. You're all here. You finally have your ult. I think that's like 4 minutes, 25 seconds. You should have gotten it maybe before you died last time. It's just positioning at this point, but we'll see. We'll see what's up. Wasted Earth Shatter. Oh, somehow you're being ignored. That's very nice. You jumped into it. Nice. Oh, Mercy with the clutch res, and you should just hang out here. Yep. You're a bit too far forward in almost all of these. Like, wherever McCree is, you should be about 5 meters behind him. Like, there's no reason for you to be standing here. You should be on the payload right now. Well, you could be poking yourself out a little bit, so that way you can maybe get a clutch sleep, but really, it's not worth it, the risk of you dying. You cannot die here. Like, you could not have died there. I don't know what you're doing up here. What are you doing up here? Okay, May ult just cleared it out for you, but that was... You should have just left him sleep because you still have... There's still a Zarya behind you. You see where this McCree's standing right now? That's where you should be standing. Like, they still have to go around the corner right here. So if you're just standing where McCree is, like at this corner using the wall, the corner as to hide, you could have dodged that fire strike. You could still be getting all your heals because you can just be looking down this alleyway. Like, there's no reason for you to contest right now. Reinhardt overextended there. You guys won already. Yeah, hide behind your McCree, man. You have a sniper rifle. He has a revolver. Like, you should be behind him. Of all the people to get caught, you shouldn't be the one to get caught in a graviton. Luckily for you, Mercy has ult, but you should have known that already. You need to press tab a little bit more. Especially as support, because that's all you got. Supports only really need to have map awareness, and if you don't have or alt management and map awareness with that, you're kind of in a bad spot as a support. That Zarya should not have been a surprise. You should have at least looked at her before you did. And now you guys are just getting wiped. You're playing a healer, but you're not healing too much. You're not healing as much as you should be. And you're leaving it to Mercy to heal everything, which is great, but once she gets her ult, all that healing is going nowhere. You need to contest right now. But when this payload goes around this... wait a minute, I want to pause. Once the payload passes about this line, if you get team wiped, like this triangle here, if you get team wiped at this point, you will lose the point. They will get through, and they can cap most likely if they have three people on the payload. You needed to have contested the payload on this corner. You want to contest on this corner, like, because it goes like the payload does that. You want to be on this corner because this corner guarantees you 2 fights. This corner guarantees only gives you 1. So you want to start contesting when you're like around this column right here rather than this door. This door means you lose. Anyway. Yeah, you should just tell... Look at this Reinhardt. He's not going in. Go in. There we go. At least just stay next to the payload. Again, that was only... You said it was really... Someone said it was unfortunate. That was only unfortunate because you should not have been standing there. You're standing way too far forward. I like your spot now. Like, this spot is okay. Just focus on healing. Stop poking out behind... Again, you got caught in the graviton. You should not be getting caught in gravitons. Especially when it's very obvious when the graviton's gonna be coming out. Like, you saw the Zarya come in. Hold on. Let's see. Like, I was already worried that you were standing too far forward. You see the Zarya here. So you see Zarya here. It's too pixelated, so I can't really tell what's right there. But let's see if I can get my hotkeys down. So you try to sleep dart. I think you hit something. But okay, so at this point, see what happens when you're too far forward as Ana? You're already missing more than half your health. And it's been a pretty long time since Zarya last gravitoned. Which means you are in a lot of trouble. You shouldn't be here. You should actually be way, way back there. Or just around the corner. Like, you should be able to hide around the corner right here whenever you want. But you're way too far forward. Like, this spot right here. This is where you should be. You shouldn't... When the cart's already that far behind you, you shouldn't pass this line. There's no reason to. You have a sniper. You have an excellent projectile weapon. You shouldn't be passing this line. You should have been backing up when you saw Zarya going up, but oh well. Yeah, and she just walked right past you all. You guys still held though because that Zarya solo ulted without any teammates behind her. Because I think you did pull off that sleep dart, but it wasn't great. Your Reinhardt's clutching a little bit. Yeah, your Reinhardt. Nice sleep dart. Like, your aim's not bad. Like, it's enough to to keep your team alive. But it's also your positioning is just so aggressive at all times, and you're just getting caught over and over by things you should not be getting caught as Ana. Like, things that should be trying to kill you aren't the things that you're dying from. You're dying from being too far forward and trying to get the sleep. You were playing defense. You should just let things come to you. Like, that's come to you, and then you collapse on the enemy team. Like, so let's say this is your team, and then here's the choke point, and then here's some side paths. Yeah, and then here's the enemy team, like over here. What you're doing is you, let's see if I can get another color. You, this green dot, you're standing in front of Reinhardt shield. Like, let's say the Reinhardt shield's here, and then the payload's right about, let's see, another color. Payload's right here. Yeah. You are doing this. You're going past the payload with no one else, missing a sleep dart because you weren't landing all your sleep darts. If you were landing all your sleep darts, maybe, but it's still pretty scary since there's a Hanzo over here. You're very lucky that Hanzo wasn't just killing you every time you passed the Reinhardt shield. You should not be poking your head out that much. Like, there's a Hanzo over here. There's a Hanzo somewhere over here. But you kept poking your head past the Reinhardt shield. You weren't punished for it, but when you go up the ranks, you will be. You should be hiding behind a corner, like over here, so that way you just need line of sight. You don't even need to be close to them. As long as you have line of sight of your team and maybe 2 or 3 of the enemies and whatever they're looking at, you're playing Ana correctly. Like, over here is good, over here is good. In fact, just behind the payload's good if your Reinhardt's over here, but you were always poking your head past the Reinhardt shield. And McCree and Ana in particular, since they don't have any movement abilities, really. They need to be... Reinhardt shield is very valuable, and they need to stay behind Reinhardt shield. You can't just keep poking your head out to get shot. You're going to be playing Lucio for attack. That's a good idea. Who's the other support then?
You realize you're ruining our chances of winning. Just letting you know.
He's gonna mess around with you now.
Solo heal Lucio. That's okay. Not helpful, but it's okay.
I don't think he will after how well the first round went. But he might.
Yeah, you can probably get away with it on this point, on this map where you boost right out of the door. You actually, with Lucio, if you're when you get to this point, this is when you want your boost. Oh, let's switch back to yellow. This is when you want your boost. You don't want to use your boost all the way back at the door because congratulations, you got to the choke point and you're still on cooldown. There's no rush. You're already getting like a passive 30% boost from just existing as Lucio. So you don't need the 70% until you get to this point.
Remember the McCree is not a flanker.
a McCree behind us.
Yeah. Apparently I'm wrong.
You should have seen that, McCree. Since you have nothing else better to do, because no one was in your sights, and because everyone was being suppressed by Bastion and Bastion Reinhardt shield, you should have been looking at your flanks. But it's not too bad. Your team's not diving, and your team needs to dive. There is nothing to be... Well, okay, you ran in by yourself. That's what... Even though Lucio is the tankiest of the supports, in the sense that he usually is pretty survivable, you can't jump in by yourself. Not like that, anyway.
He is the bush.
You guys need to decide on where to push.
Some of these guys
Just dive. You're at like 60% after how many minutes? You should have already gotten your... You would probably been at least 80% if you guys kept diving in and you would just be healing on the fly.
I need to heal him right now. I did it when he was really weak. I was gonna heal him, but then I got killed by the fucking...
Interesting place to transform Bastion.
Yeah, they stick with us next time.
It's like nooning when I have to kill him because if I didn't.
He high noon
Just
the,
wait. You guys should just wait. Anna should just stand here. You guys should just hang out here. There's no point. Whoever's over there just shouldn't die. They can't die. See what happens when you poke without your shield? You need to shield. You just need to wait. There's no point. There's nothing to waste. You're not going to lose as much time waiting here as you are actually going in and getting hurt. That's just... They were ready for you. Okay, so I hope none of you... You should, as Lucio, you should be checking who has ults. You need to know who has ults at all times. For any support, you need to know who has ults. I really hope no... Well, no. Some of you already used ults. You should have just dry pushed at that point. Because when you guys went in, it was so delayed because you had been team wiped like 2 or 3 times that you should... Yeah, just get out. Get out. There's not... It's lost. You guys were so delayed getting in that you needed to do a dry push to make them use ults, or maybe just use Ana ult to make to bait a response from the enemy team, because they used Hanzo ult, they used High Noon, they used oh, nice Ana throw.
Hey man, I did a lot of damage there.
Oh, there's a McCree up top.
Like, you guys are winning now from just from getting some lucky picks, but you could have done this exact same thing maybe 2 minutes ago. You don't have you could have been doing this a while ago.
I was kidding when I said that was just me.
I was trying that with him, but you like what's just to do it.
I will say it is easy to do. See, now is when a Hanzo would work. Oh, not Hanzo, a Bastion, sorry.
Don't shoot Zarya shield. You're not gonna kill her. She's gonna get away.
This,
You only shoot Zarya shields when you think that you can kill her.
oh, it's not a real talk, that's a Reinhardt and a real talk. The flanking behind us. Yeah, no,
Yeah, it's not too wise to peek corners when there's a Roadhog.
Vara.
Why do we not have a Reaper when like every time I got 3 tanks, we don't ever have a Reaper. Then it could be like
Well, we've got 3 attack characters and none of them are Reaper.
I keep missing who your other DPS is.
See again, Duke.
Who's your other DPS? Farah? Yeah, you can go Reaper. Well, your McCree should just use High Noon and just switch to Reaper.
See again, Duke.
Or whoever Genji is, but they're not gonna obey anything. So you should just...
Oh, that distance!
Honestly, since you guys were just waiting, you should have just been on speed. You might have been able to dodge it at that point. I don't know, but just back off. Back off. There's no point. If you get hooked here, it's all your fault. It's 100% your fault.
We do need the tank buster.
Like, you don't need to bait out these hooks. And you should be on speed if you're going to be trying to bait out hooks.
Ready, guys?
Okay, you need cart. Cart. Someone needs to be pushing the cart. Okay, so like in this situation, you and maybe like another DPS needs to be going forward. Well, okay, there's a McCree up here.
He fell off the building because he was trying to dodge my foot. Oh, it's brilliant.
We actually have to put it on at the end.
Yeah, we do. Oh, wait, no, we don't.
I know, I have the task stuff.
Okay, you should be pressing tab here, so that, or you should be looking at the scoreboard so that way you know what ults are up.
Reinhardt on us.
Yeah, I should have expected that. It's probably you're probably going to team wipe right here. Yeah, there it is.
They used like a million ults there. At least 3.
Do I swap to Gen? Oh, or not to Gen, to Reaper, or do I not?
No, you're Lucio, dude. You never switch off Lucio. There is 0 reasons that you ever switch off Lucio once you start running Lucio. You need the speed boost. Like, you could be there already now. You could be in front of that. You teleported nowhere. You could have already been in front of that. You could have already been in front of that Reinhardt. And that's...
I meant to again.
Not a problem.
I guess it's fine because you're Reaper.
I told you it's a Reaper. It doesn't matter if I'm ulting or not.
Yeah, I know it's fine.
Your McCree should have switched to Reaper.
Still aiming for them right now.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Good pick.
Should have this.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, there you go.
The Reaper pick.
You made that game much harder on yourselves than you should have. But nice clutch, I guess.
That's why Nana was. Yeah, because like I got hooked and I just.
You made the like your positioning made the game much harder than it should have been.
It was at 1 health when we shoot them and I just see a rocket hit him to death. Brilliant. Oh, you did steal my Anna, please. That Reinhardt.
I mean, yeah, good stuff with McCree. And that's that. So I hope you get help with that. You just need to work on your positioning, especially as a support. Supports are all about positioning, and essentially, especially Ana and Lucio, they need to be able to know everything. Like Sombra's like information is power. Yeah. Like, you think Sombra needs more information than you? No, she's an offense hero with utility. No, Ana and Lucio need to know everything. And the more you know what ults your team has, you shouldn't need to ask half the time. Like, you should ask at what percentage their ult is at, or if they have an ult, while checking if they have an ult. So just in case they don't say anything. And then if you notice that there's a combo, say if there's a Zarya and a Pharah, you can tell them, try to sync up your ults because you have a combo. But Reaper switch, not always the best. Stick with Lucio. Your McCree should have switched. Honestly, Genji should have switched to Reaper. He wasn't getting too much done. Any one of the DPS should have switched to Reaper. Not you. Lucio is pretty much an insta pick. Both supports are pretty much pick once and then you're done for the rest of the round. Like there's not too much of a reason that say Lucio or Zenyatta need to switch unless someone else on the team is going to switch to the support you were just at. But yeah, that's about it. Just be less aggressive, especially on Ana. You shouldn't get caught in any gravitons unless you're trying to get on the point. But if you're on defense, there's no reason for you to be on the point until you are the last person alive. So might as well die in the cart. And that's about it. So that's that.